Hi guys, Sci-Fi Recapped here. Before we start, warning. Spoilers ahead. Today, I'm gonna explain an American mystery and horror science fiction movie, called Color Out of Space. There is a woman who is doing a ritual by the river. Her name is Lavinia Gardner. Suddenly, a man comes to her, Ward Phillips, a hydrologist who is doing a survey in that place. Feeling that the ritual is disturbed by him, she decides to go home. At home, she is welcomed by her parents, named Nathan Gardner and Teresa Gardner. She also has two young brothers, named Benny Gardner and Jack Gardner. That night, after they have dinner together, they do their respective activities. Lavinia and Jack are trying to sleep, Benny is playing on the computer accompanied by his dog, while their parents are having a good time. Jack suddenly wakes up because he is scared. He comes out of the room and later a purple light appears outside of their house. Then he immediately calls his parents but they do not hear him. He looked like he is absorbed into the light and he screams hysterically. Hearing Jack scream, everyone goes to check him straight away and they smell something strange and see thick smoke outside. They come out of the house and search for where the smell is coming from. Finally, they find a purple object, which has a strange smell, and is smoky in their yard, while Jack still looks shocked in the house. The next day, they call Mayor Tuma to check on the strange object. Unexpectedly, Ward comes to their house and checks about it. According to him, it is a meteorite that is not dangerous. Later, Ward asks the family for help to drive him to someone who also lives in the area. Benny takes Ward to the person named Ezra. Ward sees something strange in the drink. As a result, he asks Ezra for his water to be used as research material later. At night, it rains with thunder. Oddly, the lightning is purple. It then strikes the meteorite which fell in Lavinia's yard as she is enjoying the rain. Not long after, her father tells her to come into the house. The strangeness of the place begins to appear when Ward is researching the water that Ezra has given him, and then he receives a call, but the voice is not very clear. He also sees a purple light behind the bushes and suddenly his car starts by itself. The next morning, Nathan and his wife see that the meteorite is gone from their yard. They are grateful about it, but on the other hand they do not realize that the meteorite has merged with the ground and polluted the water in that place. The impact of the meteorite starts showing when Teresa is chopping carrots. That time, she absent-mindedly cuts off two of her fingers. Therefore, Nathan takes her to the hospital. The children are at home without parents, and all of the responsibility for the house is left to Benny. The next morning, Benny takes care of his father's alpaca, while Lavinia enjoys the morning by drinking a cup of coffee. She sees Jack alone, sitting in the yard, and later she approaches her little brother. She is confused about what her brother is doing. He says that he is talking to someone who is at the well in their yard, although Lavinia doesn't see anyone there. When she enters the house, Jack goes to the well and then a grasshopper comes out of the well out of nowhere, but strangely the grasshopper is purple and its face looks very scary. Long story short, Nathan and his wife are on the way home from the hospital. On the way, they almost hit a strange animal. Luckily, they make it home safely. At that time, Jack is waiting outside the house alone. Then Nathan scolds Benny and Lavinia because they couldn't take care of their brother properly. Lavinia tells her father that this place is starting to get weird, but he still doesn't care about his children's words. Later, Nathan becomes frustrated after finding that his most recent harvest of fruits has proven inedible. He doesn't notice that the leaves and insects there have changed color to purple. Teresa snaps after losing a work client due to the faltering internet connection, bringing the two to a fight. Nathan's hands turn wrinkled. Maybe this is one of the consequences of the polluted water. Their television also starts to not get signals. The same night, Lavinia tries to perform a ritual using the Necronomicon and offering her blood to save her family, mutilating herself in the process. Benny and Jack go to the alpaca stables. They find that the alpacas have turned into a scary strange beast. A bolt of color starts appearing, making them run away from the stable. Their mother rushes to Jack and hugs him, but suddenly the purple bolt strikes them. Nathan and Jack are shocked, including Lavinia when she sees her mother's body and Jack is fused together. Nathan wants to take them to the hospital, but he is enraged because the car is unable to start as well as all the electronic devices. Soon, Ward wants to come back to Lavinia's home because his friend has found the animal in that area looking like it's been burned by radiation. Later, Lavinia and Benny want to escape from that place. They want to run away with their horses, but unfortunately, their horses can't be controlled by them and run away instead. Meanwhile, Benny hears his dog in the well. He decides to go into the well to look for his dog. Abruptly, the purple light reignites from within and absorbs him. He vanishes instantly, and Lavinia is sad about it. Suddenly, her father forces her into the house. He then locks his daughter in the room where his wife and Jack are to serve as their food. Shortly after, Ward and his friend come to the house. He is shocked when he sees Nathan's face has turned weird. Then he hears Lavinia's scream and rushes to her immediately. When he gets to the room, he is shocked to see Teresa has turned into a terrible monster. Swiftly, Nathan shoots his own wife to death. After rushing outside, Nathan attempts to shoot the color emerging from the well, but Ward's friend mistakes Nathan's aim and fatally shoots him. Ward and his friend go to Ezra's house to check on Ezra's condition. Arriving there, they find that Ezra has turned into a monster. They decide to leave the house, but sadly, his friend is caught by the mutated tree branches above them. Ward runs as hard as he can to avoid the light. Then he finds Lavinia near the well, and it turns out that she also has turned into a monster. Even her body has been contaminated with the strange light. There's a whirlwind near her and it absorbs her body entirely. A frightened Ward runs into the house, but instead he meets Nathan, who is still alive. Even though he has been shot dead, somehow he comes back alive. Ward hides in the wine cellar as the color's distortion of reality drives the property to destruction, leaving him the only survivor as he climbs out of the remains of the farmland, now a colorless ashy blasted heath. In the epilogue, a traumatized Ward stands on top of the finished dam which covers the former property. Subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.